What was you about to do?
Ask me for a lighter.
Oh, you have a lighter? What's up, y'all? We live. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Welcome. Why it seems super bright?
I'm not sure.
You know? Come on into the shot, sweetie.
So I'm invited into the shot.
Oh, you are invited into this live stream. What's up, Jonay? Thank y'all. Let's see. Outside of Jonay, who's gonna be next? She got the notifications tonight. Yes. We try our best to get them up. There we go. I can get you in a shot. I like that Nike hoodie though.
Thank you.
Why is it not? There we go. Man, we look real bright.
We do look bright today.
I don't know why the light so
Hi,
bright.
Prima.
Prima, what up, dude? Thank y'all for joining us tonight. Those who coming in into the live stream, I appreciate y'all coming in. Thanking you guys. Let's get it cracking. What's up?
Hello.
What's going on, Katrina? Thank you so much for joining us. Y'all got y'all beverage. What y'all drinking tonight? As far as or snacking, what are y'all drinking or snacking on?
His water's cooking right now.
Oh, okay.
Something over here.
Sorry.
Well, yeah.
Hello, everybody. I am here. Yeah, just chilling.
You're waiting for Uncle James to come
Yeah,
in?
he'll
Yep.
jump on.
I might as well just stay because I know Uncle James is coming.
Sombrino. Did I say that right? Ibelka, Sombrino?
Sobrino, yes.
Say that. How did you say it?
Sobrino.
Sobrino. Okay.
Sobrino.
No. It's not a person.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
sobrino means nephew.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Oh.
I learned something today.
Yeah, me too.
No, it's great to see you as well, Jonay. I feel like we've missed so many people. Like it's been a family reunion that we haven't reunion with.
Yeah.
You know, how you feeling?
I'm okay.
You okay?
A little,
a little rushed.
Yeah.
Like,
Kind of caught me.
Caught you off guard.
Yeah.
My bad. Mason, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
You feeling
You
good?
ready for school tomorrow?
No,
Why not?
I don't like school. Guys, can you please try to convince them that I should be homeschooled too? I should.
We're talking about it.
We'll see. But until then.
Yes. You need to get ready.
Yep.
Yay.
Yep.
Yeah, for not going to public school.
No. For school tomorrow, you're bending clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir, time to get ready for tonight.
Okay.
Take care of those clothes, please.
Yep. So let's get into it tonight, man. How y'all been? Check in with us. How are y'all doing? How have y'all been? What's good? It's been a family that we haven't reunion with. That's a bar for sure. We haven't, even though it was last Sunday. I almost feel like I know we're not able to do it just with our schedule, but I feel like we would need to go every single day.
You keep saying that, and I was just like, again, with our schedule.
That's what I said. I started with that.
Yes.
What are you saying?
Maybe that's a bit of a leap. Maybe
It's
like
quantum leap year, baby.
midweek.
Maybe another one midweek. Like what
Like
day?
Wednesday night.
Like Wednesday night. You would do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all here. What's up, Sheena?
Hey, Sheena.
Thank y'all for coming in and hitting that like button. I appreciate it. Yeah, we can do that.
Oh, you know what, Sheena? Let me look into that thing for you real quick.
Man, y'all, so our dogs, one in particular, anytime somebody leaves the room, she whines.
So
Anytime somebody
aggravating.
enters the room and the room has been empty, she whines. And it is just, if y'all got dogs, I forgot how to deal with this, but I'm going to figure it out. Cool. So, yeah, let's get into it, man. Real quick, let's check in down below in the comments. I want to hear from you guys. How are you? How have you been? What stood out this week? What stood out this week for you, sweetheart? What?
The thing is, we don't really get political, but I'm not going to lie. Like,
What?
Everything this week
Come closer, if you may.
happening in Washington is making me very uneasy.
Like what? Like what do you mean by that? You talking about the conversation that they had in the Oval Office?
Partly, and just some other legislation that's being introduced and things that's happening is making me feel uneasy.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
We talked about it lightly, but But I don't like to talk that too long because then I get sad. Other than that, it was a very eventful week.
Yeah.
For those of you that follow me on my personal socials, know that I launched my speaking coaching this week. So that was exciting.
Yeah.
That's not keeping me super busy, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's been an eventful week. Eventful week.
To say the least. To say
Yeah.
the least. Living Proof said doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. We love to hear that. Glad to see you as well, Dorothy. I think for me, just getting into man, she said her body tired.
Yeah.
Yes, she was working a 6-day stretch. Yo, them ain't nothing to mess around with. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. She said your pictures on Instagram are fire.
Oh, thank you.
Are fire. No, we are both launching. So she launched hers. I guess you can say I've been launched mine. Or did have I? Yeah, for the past 3 weeks, I've been posting content for mine. I'm going to start releasing some video content this week. But God has gifted us with the ability to become or be coaches, not become, to coach. So we are on it. And the shoes. Come on. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Fun fact, if you're talking about those white like heels in one of the pics, those were my wedding shoes.
Which one? Which picture?
The white one. The one with me in the white button up and the blue jeans that I took out.
Oh, yeah. Yes. She was looking fine.
Yeah, with the ruffles. Those are my wedding shoes.
Yeah. You lucky I couldn't put a beverage in your shoe and drink from your shoe on our wedding night. No, I'm just playing. I love you. I don't love you that much. I ain't drinking from your. Listen, we got a thing going on. For some reason, only time we allow our feet to touch each other is at night after a shower. Yeah. Our feet don't touch any other time.
No.
So you don't want no parts of my feet. I'm gonna say the same. I'm gonna let you keep your feet. I ain't say it. I just say I'm gonna say the same. Why she always hating? Why you always hating?
So I can already see James in the replay comments. Oh, tomato.
He like, gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha. No, so that's what we have been working on. I know it's kind of hard to balance Lex and Lev and building out business. For some of you who may not know, it's okay for me to face this, guys. I don't know why. Oh,
what?
I just had an idea.
What?
Can I whisper in your ear?
Yeah, let's start there.
Yeah.
I'll message her.
Okay. I don't want to put it publicly. Okay. So yeah, it's just how hard has it been
to
balance everything?
Yeah, it's one of those things where like you want to be obedient to the Lord, but you're like, Lord, I need the strengths, all of the strengths with an F, all of it, because it's one of those things where you're stepping out and you're. Because I'm not even going to touch the surface stuff, because I think everybody is familiar with whether you're trying to start a business or not. Just day-to-day life is tiring. But when you're trying to start something new on top of day-to-day life and you're trying to jump over all of the hurdles, the imposter syndrome, the what ifs, it's a lot. And so, but you want to stay obedient. And for me, it's like I don't want to lose momentum. Like, okay, God, I'm with it.
Excuse me. Thank you. I'm trying to hold that in.
Let's go. So yeah, it's a lot of not just balance, but I think we've talked about it before. If balance is really a thing, or is it harmony? Like
harmony.
Because there were a lot of nights that we were in here till too late.
2 in the morning.
Too late. But we did it.
Yeah, I love whispering in my wife's ear. I love this right here.
That hurts. Hey!
I'm married now. And she like it. Put a smile on her face every single time. But no, I think if you've never grown a business, is people don't understand. Yeah. Like what goes into a business. And I know it's not the topic of the live stream, but I think we're just catching up with our cousins. But building a business, a digital business, and building it the right way to maximize success. To maximize success, it's been a challenge. Like
Yeah.
still trying to focus on Lex and left, still trying to focus on, like you said, what God has told us to do. It can be daunting. It can be really daunting, but thanks be to God for strength. Because we be in this office till like 2 a.m, then we fight with who gonna wake up and take Mason to school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CJ says it's so glamorized online. It is, because it really don't be like that. Not if you want to do it well and you want to do it with integrity.
For sure.
It's not.
For sure. So, with that being said, let's get into the content for tonight.
Yeah. So I pulled up the poll. If you guys saw it,
do we put it here
in our community posts?
Oh, okay.
You can if you want to.
I'm sorry, if it says there, it's there. Yeah.
If you want to repost it, you can.
Okay. AKA repost it.
I'm trying to find it. The question was, what's the hardest part about healing after heartbreak? So Lev is working on the poll, but go ahead and put in the chat, like as he's putting those in.
Did you say like the poll? Okay, what was the option?
Letting go of the past.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling like I'll never love again.
Mm-hmm.
Forgiving myself or them. And the last one was trusting God's plan for my love life.
Y'all hear me typing so fast?
I'm gonna take the period out. Maybe take out love here. Okay, that works.
Right.
All right. So yeah, so this was the poll. Sheena said, "Oh, thank you, Living Proof." Yeah, maybe we'll come back to that in the Q&A. We've got some time.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to the poll, Sheena says, "Trusting God's plan, trusting God's will for my life." I believe that was it. CJ says, "Most of us don't trust God's plan for our love life." Sheena says, "Yeah, trusting God's plan." And then Jonay says, "I was going to say that this past week transition stood out." It's in the same vein. That transitional space from heartache to acceptance is challenging. That's a really interesting point. That space
in between
heartache and acceptance.
What do you mean by acceptance, sweetie? And Jonay as well.
Yeah. Well, I think sometimes, not sometimes, but I think acceptance is, okay, this thing is over. It's not coming back. I have to move on. Like being settled with that. Okay. Versus like kind of the back and forth, or maybe they'll call me, or you're waiting for them to DM you, or you want, like, there's that in between space of from like the time the heartbreak happens to the time it's settled. And I think she's talking about that in between. Oh, okay. Because when I heard it, I was like, is it accepting that? Because, and this could be the person who internalizes the heartbreak. Like sometimes, like heartbreak to me, right, getting to peace that they wasn't the one and moving out of. Okay, got it. Thank you. Yeah. So I was just wondering, like, could it have been also the acceptance of, like, you don't want to internalize. Because and this is just me just being the content guy that I am. Is it the heartbreak that you caused, or the heartbreak that you didn't? Let me say it like this. So is this yes, that they weren't the one, right? So when Jonay or you, sweetie, asking this question from the perspective, like, does the heartbreak come into play when you sever the relationship, or if they sever, or is it just period? I think it's just the end. I think you're going to experience heartbreak with the end of a relationship. Now, how the relationship ends will determine what kind of heartbreak you're experiencing. But I think either way, there's still a heartbreak. I mean, if you're in a relationship with somebody and something happens and you feel like you have to end it, whether it be for your own peace, your own sanity, or there was some kind of betrayal, that doesn't feel good. And even though you might feel some kind of release or freedom in the moment, once that initial freedom passes, you still have to settle with the fact that now you have to move on with your life without that person. All of the dreams, all of the aspirations, all of the hopes, all of the plans, that's all gone. And now you've got to start over. And so I think regardless of who ended it, that is part of the process. That reality of reckoning what you thought was going to be something now no longer exists.
Yeah, because I guess I was thinking also from the perspective, again, me just thinking on the other side of the same coin, is the heart, because when I think of heartbreak and when I think of people saying like, I'm heartbroken over the relationship, you wanted this relationship to work and it doesn't work, or it did not work.
Yeah.
Right. But then I also think about the person, because I'm thinking about women. Women leave the relationship long before they leave.
Before it ends. Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So is the heart broke like after the official? Because in my mind, the woman is, if she's dealing with heartbreak because she sees like, all right, this ain't it. That happened when she made a decision in her head, not when she officially left. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So for me, when I think of someone saying like heartbreak, I think always imagine heartbreak being tied to, I thought this was going to work out, but something abrupt or something like finally became irreconcilable, I guess, that, you know what, this ain't it. And I thought it was going to be it. You know what I mean? Because I think sometimes we get into relationships and leaving the relationship is sometimes you happy. There's a part where you're like, dang, it didn't work out. But that's not, to me, that's not heartbreak. It's just like, dang, it didn't work out, but I'm glad I'm not in it anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, could it be, what's the difference, I guess? Like, or when is there a difference to when there's not heartbreak when a relationship ends? Because listening to you and then reading Jonay's comment, it seems like heartbreak is inevitable when a relationship ends.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it also depends on how much value you put into the relationship. I mean, if you wasn't really locked in with somebody and now it's over, it's like, oh, well, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm glad that's over.
Yeah.
Yeah. On to the next.
If now, and I think maybe we should have set that precedence. We're talking about like kingdom dating, kingdom relationships. You're with someone, you're thinking that this is moving in a particular direction. It doesn't work. Now, if you're just casually dating and it just, he picked his teeth at dinner, you're like, nah, this ain't it.
Yeah.
There's not going to be, because you got to remember, you're investing. Right. So if you're not invested in someone and they leave, they're not really walking away with much of you, of your heart, of of everything. So it's when you've made that investment in someone and then it ends, it's like you've lost that investment. That don't feel good.
Can I ask a question?
I feel like aggravation is coming. Go ahead.
No. I don't want to go too far off.
That smile is a 10 giveaway.
Dead giveaway. Who remembers that viral moment? Dead giveaway. Ladies, do you feel heartbroken when you have invested a lot into a guy and let's say he doesn't, finally you just get like, he ain't coming around, right? And months later, the same thing that you was trying to get him to do in your relationship is being displayed, or there evidence that is happening in the new relationship. Does that bring heartbreak? Because I remember I was in my first marriage. In my first marriage, when we were like, things were starting to erode, she was like, I got too much invested in you. We're going to try and work this out because I don't want another woman to reap the benefits of the things I've been trying to get you to see. I know, right? It's crazy, right?
Sorry, sis. Sorry.
You know what I'm saying?
Time out for that one petty moment.
Y'all know what I'm saying? But is that heartbreak? Could that be Can you be heartbroken? Like, you, the woman, been invested in this guy to get him to better communicate, and in your relationship, he does not communicate well. He doesn't show improvement, but you see him clearly having better communication skills with the next woman. Does that bring heartbreak?
I think that brings fury.
She ready to slash your tires.
I'm ready to
I'm
swing.
gonna bust the windows in your car. You know what I mean? But can we get some hits? Can I hit the like button? There's 14 of us here. Can y'all hit
Sheena
that like
says
button?
bitterness. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I just want to know, is like, would that be considered heartbreak?
I don't
Like,
think
I'm
that's.
curious
I don't
about
think
your
it's.
response on men.
Yeah. So CJ says, I don't believe guys are as bothered by it. And she had commented that when we were talking about regardless of how a relationship ends, does someone experience heartbreak? And that was her comment was, I don't believe, guys are as bothered by it.
No.
Is that true?
Yes.
Guys are not as bothered by heartbreak.
No, not like what. No, let me say it like this. We are bothered, but it doesn't manifest itself or show up like it does for women. Here's the thing. Men are typically, this is not, I would say the majority of men will move on faster than the woman will.
Okay.
I'm just saying from a heartbroken perspective.
Yes and no, I think
how I'm saying, like, showing up like crying.
Yeah.
I think men move on. I think the damage of being heartbroken show up in men becoming like dogs and their villain season.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, men become villains when they heart get broke.
Yeah.
That's how this thing goes. As a teenage boy, he gonna have his eye set on a young lady, and it just don't happen. And he's gonna move on.
But
as
that doesn't
far
mean
as
he's healed.
how he emotes
Yeah.
in comparison to a woman, but that's the villain story.
Yeah.
They move on, but they don't move on healthy.
But they're not healed, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Men don't heal, they hope. Whoa! I read that out loud before I got to process what I was reading. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I never had a villain story, by the way, so don't ask. Never had one.
What do you mean you never had a villain story?
I never had a villain story. I never was so heartbroken that I was like, the next girl is gonna pay. Like, or I'm a dog a woman out. Never.
Okay.
Never. And I don't think I've ever really, hold on.
Boa notte. Is that Portuguese?
You know, why y'all be coming here
or
talking this stuff?
Italiano?
I'm like Trump. English.
Oh my goodness.
The official language. That man said English is the official language. Man, he is. Listen,
Portuguese. That's what I thought.
Listen, he gives enough material for anybody to become a comedian. That man said official language. Buenos noches, mi homie. Is that what that means? Me homie. Gente, me homie. I know it. Gente. I'm just saying, don't that mean my homie?
Yeah.
It has been a while, Andrew. We appreciate you coming in here. For sure. Thank y'all for joining, man. Please hit that like button so we can get more people showing up to the live streams. We appreciate it. Not always, because I think women leave mentally once they realize nothing changes, or so they leave physically. Okay. I get that. But again,
Yo, mentally I was checked out for months. Then when the breakup happened, I was like,
bet.
Yeah, that wasn't very nice.
But who you think? Okay, since we talk about who moves on quicker, who heals quicker? Listen, I'm sorry to say, this is not no saying. Okay. So do you think men move on or heal? Do you think men heal faster or women?
Y'all, I'm really biased here because
what are you going to say? I want to hear this.
I have met. So this is totally subjective to my experience. Mm-hmm. I have met more unhealed men than healed men.
Have you encountered more unhealed women than healed women?
I would say the encounters might be equal, but the difference is awareness.
Yeah.
So I have met women that will come out and say like, "Hey, I'm working on this." So they have this awareness of like, this is an area that I need to work on. And it could also be the circles that I ran in.
For sure.
Right.
For sure.
But even when I was in like personal development circles, it was mostly women. Even in church circles, mostly women. So there was always this understanding that like there's an area of my life that I need help with, that I need to work on. So from my viewpoint, right? 'Cause I don't want to make the guys mad. But from my viewpoint, like women tend to be more aware that they need healing and therefore tend to move on it a little quicker, I think. I've met guys that will tell me like, I'm good. And then you spend a little bit of time with them and they wilding out.
Yeah.
And you're like, where did this come from? And they don't have an explanation for it. They don't have it's normal, it's cool, like it's not a big deal. And I'm like, no, that ain't it, bro.
I think women have better support systems to point them to healing than men.
Please elaborate.
So, I mean, look at our community. Our community is majority women. And in the comments, I'm 100% guaranteed if somebody came in here to our community and need help moving in the right direction, I'm just saying names that I know for a fact. Jonay is going to say something. You know what I mean? I know for a fact that Sheena would say something. Like all the women here will point a woman in the right direction to get healed. I think as men, the only time we are communal in that way is around activity. So the activity, but women are more communal around conversation. Okay. Right? So women are going to say, girl, I'm going through this. Girl, you need to read this book, or you need to go here, or you need to, right? So the way, like someone said, culturally, it's not set. Men, it's countercultural for a man to be in community and to talk and to work on himself from that perspective. He'd rather go to the gym.
You said it's countercultural?
For a man to sit down with another man or a group of men and talk about healing, talk about their feelings, and talk about, that's why men typically across the board, attendance for men seem to be down, right, in churches. Attendance for men dealing with themselves and working on themselves and therapy tend to be down. I think where you see some of the greatest aspects of men starting to work on themselves and coming to an awareness is at the barbershop or at the gym. That's why I think the barbershop for men, is, especially black men or men of color, or a man that get a taper, because some of our Caucasian brothers and sisters love the taper and the fade, but sitting down with a barber who can like, hey, bro, you tripping. You know what I mean? The OG barbers are like, young blood, you stupid. You know what I mean? You don't know nothing about no girl. You know, you always had a type of conversation. So when men are not communal around conversation, you don't see men healing or growing or developing like you do women. It's natural to sit in communities. Going to school was designed for women. You know, church is designed, unfortunately, how we do church, some of the time is designed for women. You know what I mean? Come sit down and listen to somebody talk to you. Because it's, even though that inner conversation in your head and the pastor's talking, you're like, say that, pastor. You know what I mean? But the guy, he's sitting there like, man, the Cowboys play tonight. Okay. Oh, amen. You know what I mean? So I think, unfortunately, there's truth that I believe women come to the awareness that they need help quicker than men. I don't know if they necessarily heal faster, though.
Well, it's kind of a tandem thing because you have to be aware that you need healing in order for healing to happen. So it's almost like I don't know how else to say it. It's almost like a race to the finish. Like you have to know that you're in the race to be able to do it in the first place. Yeah. So I don't know if it's necessarily a gender thing though. I do think there are some nuances and some truth to what you're saying, though, in terms of like social construct.
Oh, for sure.
So like socially, especially if you're talking Western culture, communally, you don't see like a lot of guys coming together and having these kumbaya moments, right? So it's not like the manly thing to do.
You see it more now.
Exactly. Until very recently.
Yeah, for sure.
And we're talking like maybe since COVID kind of thing.
Or the last decade, I would say.
Right. Where guys started to open up more about what was going on with them. But that's new.
Mhm.
And I think that's still going to take some time to become the norm. But
For
when
sure.
we're talking about, like you said, support for women or places for women to go to
Mhm.
find, I mean, you could go on Eventbrite right now and find a bajillion women's events and women's meetups and things like that. And so it's just culturally the setup is there.
For sure.
But I don't think it's a gender thing. I think it's an awareness thing.
Yeah, again, but this goes back primal almost. Women mature in the area of awareness, emotions faster than boys or men. So a woman is going to come into the maturity like, dang, I got my heart broke. I don't want to become a villain. I want to heal and I want to find somebody to love me the right way. Like women are willing to listen. You could, if you told a woman her kingdom spouse is on the other side of some burning hot coals, them feet is about to burst. Don't let him be 6 foot, 6-pack with 6 figures. Don't let him be what they want.
Yeah.
Oh, they will go through something to get to that. But a man on the other side is like, man, look, I work so hard in any other area. I think men are quicker to settle than women are. So from a healing and hurt place, he won't do the inner work. He'll just settle. I think a man will be like, I don't, she'll accept me the way I am. She think I'm good. She's not gonna put up a fuss. You know what I mean? But you get a healed woman, especially a woman of color. She's like, she ain't playing. She just ain't grandmama go through. She just ain't her mama go through. And she like, I refuse to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So unfortunately, I think men need to step it up. And someone said, like, what churches you go to? Like our church, we got a lot of men, active men in our church, active single young men in our church.
Yeah, but we also, our apostles make sure to foster a community where they have a safe place to feel.
Yeah, man.
To feel like they can open up. There's a lot of male leaders, there's activities, there's intentionality to like reach out and have conversations, whether it's one-on-one or in group activity. So there's some intentionality behind that.
Bobby, I hear where you're coming from, but I think men want to do the work. I think men don't know how to do the work.
Yeah. And I've been watching the comments and I'll say this, Bobby, I would like to ask you to reach out to us, like send us an email, because I'm hearing what you're saying and it's very familiar and I get it. Like I, in no way, shape or form want to discount your experience, especially that's fine. But let me tell you this, and you can do whatever you want with it. When there is woundedness around relationship, and I know this because I'm someone who has had mommy wounds. And I'm not saying that's you. I'm just saying women in our lives, especially from a young age, that cause some kind of pain, some kind of woundedness, do something to betray trust or the relationship. It can very, very much impact our perspective and the way that we look at women as we grow up. And I was the same way. Growing up, I realized like I didn't like female teachers. I didn't like female ministers. And as I continued to age, I didn't want a female therapist. And it took a lot of work for me to understand, like, I just had a problem trusting women because I felt betrayed when I was coming up. And it wasn't until I started dealing with that I was able to see women from a different perspective. Now, again, I'm not saying this is you, but I'm saying some of the things that I'm seeing in the chat is very familiar, and we would love to come alongside you and help you if we can, or just not even help. Maybe you don't want help, but maybe you just want to open up about that a little bit more. We'd be happy to do that. But the fact of the matter is that at the end of the day, the way that we were created, men and women, we were all created for a relationship. We were all created for community. So if there is brokenness there and something has been severed where you're finding it difficult to have relationship with one gender or the other, what I want to remind you is that was not God's intention. That was not part of the plan. So if there's a challenge there, if there's difficulty there, then that is something to investigate and explore. And
Yeah.
If you don't feel like you have a safe place to go, but we can be that safe place for you, we would love to do that.
For sure. For sure. For sure. But back to the topic
Yeah.
at hand. Dealing with healing and hurt and heartbreak, right? So real quick, as you are here, wow. Thank you, Bobby. First and foremost, from my heart to yours, thank you for being vulnerable and sharing what you think and feel, because this is a safe space. Nobody's here to jump on you or any of that. Thank you for sharing. And you know, we got you. We got your back. Like, we're not here to bash you or anything. I just think what's prompting those thoughts, right? And I think that lends to a different conversation, and we don't want to. I mean, you're brave enough to put it out there, but we don't want it to become that.
Yeah.
Right now, right? So dealing with, you know, I think from my experience as a man who did not understand that vulnerability could be a superpower, or vulnerability can be a thing, it wasn't until me getting a divorce that I found out that's dope. Like, there are men who want to have this conversation. There are men who are willing to wrap their arms around it in a manly way and speak to the king on the inside of you, and not leave you as some little hurt boy and saying that it's cool. Like, I love the men in my life was like, nah, we're not letting you be like that. Like, Richard wasn't gonna let me be this way. Like, all these folks are just like, nah, bro, you're not some hurt, wounded duck. You have value. You have something to offer. I just think men heal differently than women, and there's not enough masculine language or activities for men to do. Because if I'm gonna tell you the truth, men talk more than women. Man, listen, men talk more than women. Stop playing with me.
I didn't say anything.
Your face did. Your nonverbals. Hit the like button if y'all are here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. But I think men want to speak more. They just don't know how. Or they don't have the
language.
The language, they don't know how, or the environment to do so. Because the men at our church, when I get around,
CJ.
Yeah, hey, I'm telling you, if you think men don't talk, give them opportunity to. They will. Think about it. We listen to other men talk, watching Sports Center, watching ESPN all day. Men talk all day on ESPN.
You know what I just thought of?
What?
Remember that Josh Johnson joke when he was talking about the football player? What's his name? That was the commenting on the Super Bowl.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was mad at
Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. hating on Patrick Mahomes on the Super Bowl.
But sneak this.
I'm telling y'all, man. I think men and women have to accept that we heal different, and that we mature at different ages, and that heartbreak looks different from a man than it is a woman. Like, I think men are sometimes go extreme. Yeah. When they get heartbroken. Yeah. It's extreme one way. There's rarely a middle ground for a guy. Yeah. Like, he gonna go to the gym and become roided up, like, this girl broke my heart. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or he go to the other side, he's just isolated. Yeah. Don't come out the cave. Go to work every day, but never come out the cave. That's from a man's perspective. Mm-hmm. I think that's good. Like, as a woman hearing that, is that valuable?
Yes. I mean, I think it is from the perspective of understanding how to support men around you. Because obviously, if you broke up with a guy, there's not much you can do with that information, because you're not in position to help that guy.
Facts.
But for, your cousin, your brother, your friend, like
your son,
how do I support him when he's going through this? Understanding that he's not going to want to have a sleepover and snacks and do face masks and talk to you all night. He's probably not going to want to do that. But like, what? I'm just saying, like, that's what we would do. Go shopping, go to the spa, find some kind of activity, take a trip. Yeah. There's lots of other things, but I think what you're sharing it offers a really good insight into understanding that there are some nuances and some differences between the genders. And the more that we seek to understand one another, the better we can show up for one another. Yeah. So I do think that that's helpful.
Valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just had a moment, because I'm like, Mason is getting older.
I really don't like when we bring Mason in.
Right.
Oh my God.
We told, hey, y'all should have been in the car with us last night. Remember the last night conversation? Girlfriend and boyfriend?
Living Proof said that sounds like a vibe. Like, right. It does.
Yo, for real,
I'm
for real.
due for a sleepover.
Man, why don't y'all do a, never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. I'm just going to throw it out there. What?
Moving on.
What? So anyway, we were in the car last night, and I said, Mason. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Thank you so much. Tanya, what up, dude? What's up, family? What's up, cousins? Can y'all hit that like button for all the folks who haven't done it already? Can y'all hit the like button for me one good time? One of the things that we talked about last night in the car, we asked Mason, let's say if he had a little sister. So 10 years from now, she'll be about 9 or 10 if she were to be born anytime soon if we were to have a child. So I said, Mason, how would you react if your little sister came to you and said she had a boyfriend?
He was not having it. He was like, no.
Mason, come here.
I already know what you guys are talking about. I'm always watching your streams. I was watching it.
So
Yes,
Mason, how would you respond if your little sister
had a boyfriend?
had a boyfriend said, Mason, I have a boyfriend?
And what was the age again?
Let's say she's 10 and you'll be 19
So she's your age now.
with a boyfriend. How are you going to respond? Can we get something from you besides
just staring? Yeah.
You're too young. That's what I would say.
What else?
That's all.
That's all? What if you had a little brother who's your age?
Same thing.
My man. And what did I tell you? What I told you can have a girlfriend when? When can you have a girlfriend?
13?
No.
When?
When can you have a girlfriend?
14?
No.
15?
You remember?
You said 21.
No, I didn't.
What? Oh, you. I never.
When did I say?
When I get married.
There you go.
Do y'all hear this? He can have a girlfriend once he's married.
It doesn't make sense.
He's like, don't you supposed to get a girlfriend before you get married?
No.
Yes.
You can have friends. That's what I told you. You can have friends. Then you pick one of those friends and you marry them. That's it.
So Mason,
your wife becomes your girlfriend for life.
So Mason, what do you think your wife is going to look like?
I don't know.
How would you want her to look?
I don't have any guesses. Wait. How I want her to look?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Ivanka said the math ain't mathing. It is to me, sis. It is to me.
It's not. Math is not even there.
Sir, why are you leaning on that chairs like that? So, you don't know what you think your wife will look like? Or you will want her
You
to
told
look
me
like?
you wanted her to look like Moana.
Not in there.
You did tell me that.
When?
Moana.
When?
I mean, Lex makes sense. Thank you, CJ.
When?
The moms get it.
When?
The moms that get
When
it.
did
Get
I
it.
say that?
You've said it to me.
When did
Mason.
Mom,
Okay, goodbye, Mason.
I'm saying, Mom. When?
So there y'all have it. There y'all have it. Mason can't have a girlfriend until he's married. I just...
He says he wants to go to the University of Hawaii, so he's
He
been
says that
wearing
now.
a UH shirt to Future Day at school since he was in first grade.
Really?
Yep.
Mason, come close the door, please.
Come
Thank
here
you.
for a second.
Excuse me, guys. My bad. Weather is changing, man. So real quick, for those who may be new here, thank y'all for joining. Even if you've been here for a while, you cousins, we family, put in the state or the city or state that you're tuning in from, just in case there's some new faces and they may see you and want to connect with you. So if you are in Florida, if you are in Texas, if you are in New York, DMV, Texas, wherever you want to, sir.
What's
Don't you
that?
supposed to be getting ready for school?
Is that your tablet?
Yeah, because I was watching our stream.
Oh,
Okay. Don't you supposed to be in the shower?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm still folding a couple of my clothes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. So we got Texas in the house from Tanya, Alabama with Dorothy. We got Sheena in Minnesota, New York City with Bobby. Bobby, what part of New York City are you in? Because I've never been to New York City. What borough do you think I would love? I think Harlem.
I was gonna say that too.
I was gonna say Harlem. Harlem seems like they got that flair, that flavor. But Brooklyn seems, I've never been, but seems like be my speed.
Mm. My people's all up and through there. So
Yeah. H-Town. All right, H-Town. Okay. Manhattan. Nice. When he gets married, we about to be doing the luau.
there you go.
Oh, we got folks in Montgomery, Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama. I remember going to Birmingham, Alabama.
I've been there too.
It's hilly. It's very hilly.
It is. I was actually surprised. I thought
Very.
it was gonna be flatter.
Yeah. Brooklyn is better than Harlem. Why?
Ooh, not Sodom and Gomorrah.
Living proof don't ever stop. She come with it. Every comment. ATL, aka Sodom and Gomorrah.
Listen, Miami's not too far down on the list.
Y'all in a race.
Yeah.
To pillars of salt. Do you know Revelation in it? Never mind. Different topic. It was a new revelation on that.
Yeah.
I got it. But Brooklyn is better than Harlem. What's the other boroughs? Brooklyn, Queens? I want to know about Queens.
Bronx.
The Bronx. I want to. Brooklyn's better than Harlem. So many reasons.
We'll have to start like a chat in the community post or something.
Like where everybody's from and all that. Well, if y'all ever come to Dallas, what's the place they should never go to in Dallas?
I don't know. I don't know the city well enough to say.
So much that you do know where Harlem is very ghetto. I don't think that's my speed there. I need some type of gentrification in my life. What? Some? I said some. I didn't say all.
I don't get it. Yeah.
Bobby, you all right? Hey, we cousins.
Safe space.
Safe space. You all right? If it's ghetto, it's ghetto. Hey, it is what it is. North Carolina, man. Go ahead, take your air off. Twist it, you hit me like a helicopter. Yeah. That's so funny. Man, 43% of you said trusting God's plan. What was the question again, sweetie?
What's the hardest part about a breakup?
Trusting God's plan. Have you ever been in that place?
What? Trusting God's plan?
It was hard.
A breakup?
After a breakup.
One time. I was in middle school. Excuse me. I don't know. Maybe that wasn't the start of my villain era because I never got dumped after that. Never.
You got dumped in middle school and became a villain.
I didn't get dumped, but I might as well.
Yeah, you got dumped. Anytime somebody say, well, and they start looking in the sky, they got dumped. So you telling me you didn't?
No, I didn't.
So what happened? Tell us.
We're going to circle back to this.
Hey, look, I feel like I'm Kyle Barker from Living Single.
So for y'all, the story goes, I had this on and off thing with this guy when I was in like middle school. And he had this best friend. And it's funny because even now it's like, it's irritating because I'm like, y'all can't tell me something wasn't going on. And even back then I knew. And it got to the point where I never like caught them doing anything or knew of any, like I never got evidence.
Yeah.
But it was so wildly inappropriate and disrespectful. Even at that age, I knew like this ain't it. that I ended things. And then, oh, it's funny. This actually goes, I'm trying to remember now. It's funny because you were talking about when you see the guy with somebody else. So I broke things off. And then like 2 weeks later, he came to like a youth group meeting with this new girl who was like younger than me, which I was very insulted by. And I remember like going home crying after that. Like, how could he do that? But and then I swore to myself after that, I was like, never again. And I did it
in her room with the lights off. Vow, I'll never.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean I didn't get heartbroken again after that. But in terms of like, yeah, I don't remember being in that situation. Just being honest.
Yeah. No, that's cool. That's cool. So you technically did not get dumped.
No.
You were just given the evidence to make the decision.
Correct. I felt like my hand was forced.
Yeah. So man, you didn't. No.
Yeah.
So
but that kind of like when I think about heartbreak outside from becoming a widow, that's the only other time that comes up for real.
I think I don't, like I said, I don't ever think I was ever I don't think I was ever heartbroken. I just don't ever. Now there was a time. You want to hear a funny story about me? So there was a time where I was heavily intoxicated. Inebriated. Anytime you start a story like this, it's like, oh, what is he gonna say, right? And I was on the phone with a girl, and I was professing my love towards her, and she was like, "Nah."
That wasn't a good idea.
But she was giving off those vibes, though.
That she wanted to reciprocate those feelings?
Yeah. I think she's salty right now. You know what I'm saying? So I got a beautiful wife. And she could have been with a player. But she, didn't know how to act right. I love you, girl. I hit it with one of them. In my days of not being saved.
I see.
What you mean, I see? I see orange. Tennessee in the building. Yeah. I profess my love loudly, like the neighbors could hear.
So why don't we answer the actual question?
What's happening?
Right. Thank you. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I was punching the air. Go ahead.
So if someone is heartbreaking healing, or heartbreaking hurting, what would be your advice to them?
I think the most important thing I could say to them would be that it's okay to hurt. Why y'all be doing this to me? Y'all be putting the comments. I would tell someone, I would try to remind them that they have value.
What? That they what?
That they have value. I'm sorry. I'm talking, but I'm reading the comments at the same time. I would remind them, that you may be heartbroken, hurting, but you have value. And what you're going through happened. Yes. What you feel is real. Yes. But it's not the end of the story. And who you are, just by who you are, someone is going to see that value and want to love you unconditionally and love you well. Unfortunately, that person didn't. I would just try to reframe their thoughts. That's all. That's all. Like, I want you to feel it. I'm not going to say anything to get you out of that feeling, because I think that's not always the best approach. But feel what you feel, but know that you're no less loved by God. You're no less appointed, no less anything by God. You're super dope. You're an amazing. You just wasn't that for you. That person didn't see that in you, and that's okay. That's okay. So that's what I would say to that person.
Okay.
What would you say?
I feel like I would ask some questions before I would answer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would do that too. What you talking about?
Don't be trying to drop my answer.
No, I honestly wanted to say, like, I would ask questions first. I would do a deep dive, like what happened and all those things. Sure. But if you're telling me after getting all that information, what I would say to them is that.
Okay. Well, the reason I preface my answer with that is because depending on where they are, I would say different things.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if the breakup just happened or the heartbreak just happened
yesterday, what would you tell them?
To just be kind to themselves.
Yes.
Yeah, because there's, like you said, there's nothing that can be said right now to mitigate that grief. It's fresh. And so, do the sleepovers, do the outings, stay around your friends. If you want to binge on Domino's and Pepsi, do that. Like, do what you can to take care of yourself for the moment. If it's been like 2 months, I'd be like, okay, well, what's going
2
on?
years.
What's going on?
2 years.
And trying to assess where is the pain point, because the initial event has already happened. So now, like, are we still thinking that this is something that's gonna like rekindle? And is that why we're still stuck here? Like, if nothing's changed, it depends. Like, just trying to assess where they are and time and how much processing has happened.
Yeah.
But all in all, I think what you said was really good, though, too, is recognizing value, no matter where they are on the spectrum of time and healing, is recognizing that just because you weren't somebody's cup of tea, it doesn't make you any less the tea.
Come on.
So,
because you might be expensive and rare.
Right. And some people don't have the palate for that.
The palate. You hear me? They taste buds has been burnt. Somebody out there right now saying, Lord, burn it.
Yeah. Oh, CJ, I don't know what I said that made you feel judged, but I'm sorry. That wasn't my intention at all.
But no. Yeah. I think where you are in that part of your healing journey determines what you said.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking the person who just like, he left me.
Yeah.
Does it matter the stage of life? Does your advice change on the stage of life? I think so, right?
I think it is a factor.
Yeah. Like, you got more living.
Absolutely.
I mean, you gotta say it to everybody. But,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I think, though, too, depending on if someone is more mature, I would think, and I could be wrong, right? Because I know that we have some more mature members of our audience too.
For sure.
But sometimes I feel like they know how to deal with this stuff better. Like, when you've lived a while, you know that people come and go, seasons come and like they change.
For sure.
And I just feel like there may be a better understanding of things, but I could be wrong.
But remember that show we saw on Netflix?
That is true. You know what? Scratch that.
Yeah, that show we saw on Netflix. The 60-year-olds is acting like the 30-year-olds.
What was it called again?
Blind Date?
No, it wasn't Blind Date. It was something where it was like, was it 55 and over or 60 and over?
That wasn't the name of the show, though.
Yeah.
She says, I'm 50, and it really depends on the person.
Yeah. Because we saw a spectrum of, I want to say at least 55 and over, but it could have been 60.
Oh, the show is 55, I think.
Yeah, and they were going on dates.
Later dating.
That's what it was. And some people were more. I was shocked at the spectrum of maturity of the people.
Oh, for sure.
Like, I thought it was going to be really like different to watch people in that stage of life dating, and it wasn't. Like, it was the same mix, the same tomfoolery, the same. Yeah.
Now, it was interesting seeing the guy, that one black man on there, and he was like really cool with his ex, like I thought
you were talking about the other guy.
From Tennessee to Atlanta.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah. You're right. And you know what's interesting?
Yes, Maya, you're totally right.
You have someone who is old enough to be your mom say that she's trying to get back into the dating pool, but the men are still teenagers.
Yeah.
That was interesting to me.
That goes back to the healing we were talking about.
It's so, what's so universal is that relationships are so universal, regardless of culture, typically. But I mean, like, they all are the same. Like, that's the universal connector of people. It's not music or sports. You know what I mean? It's not even religion, but it's like relationship for the most part. Unless people like into some wild stuff. But those who want a wholesome marriage or relationship, it's pretty much the same. When I went to Houston, I attended the Salt and Pepper Gang Valentine's event and was surprised by the level of maturity of some in the room as well. Wow, wisdom and maturity has no age. It's a mindset. Some people never grow up. That's crazy. That's crazy work.
Mhm.
To like, because you look at somebody who not mature at a certain age, you're like, what happened to you for you not to get this?
I mean, I know some folks that
Me too.
I asked the same question.
Me too. Me too. Me too. Because sometimes you expect someone to be older and to be more mature. But it's like, you've been this way for how long?
But it goes back to what we're talking about with the healing and
Mhm.
having the awareness and healing. And it's, some folks they just move on, but they don't heal. And then you meet them and they're in a more mature stage of life and they're still acting like they're in high school.
Yeah, no guidance. My parents were watching the show one day and I briefly glanced at it with
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
Sheena.
Sheena, it still go down that way. Yeah, man. Yeah. Maturity also comes with trying. Yeah. Your experiences, either your experiences make or break you.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
CJ say my most.
Are you okay? It's her to bang.
Like, what? My most traumatic experiences was with a man who was. Wow. Man, that's sad. When I hear these stories, sometimes I'm like, who raised these men?
Same.
Who raised these men? Like, I have a strong, like, no nonsense rule. It's like, man, if you mistreat women as a man and you in my circle, we don't have a circle no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you mistreat a woman, we don't have a circle anymore. What's going on?
Something in the backyard. Sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
Cameras. I think it's weather. We're getting some weather. Yeah.
Is it rain?
Yeah, it looks like rain or hail.
Jesus.
But yeah, I mean, one of the things that I've come to learn is when it comes to maturity, and maturity is directly correlated to experience, but it's how you develop from the experience. Wisdom is applied knowledge.
Yeah.
So you learn something. When that situation or a similar situation comes up, can you apply what you learned from the previous experience here? If you don't, then that's someone who lacks wisdom. And that's where you see people like constantly in the same cycle over and over and over again.
Dating the same person.
Yeah.
Or they are the same person in every relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy work.
Yeah.
And you know what? Old school players, old school fools. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, Belka can tell you, and anybody else that's in Miami, you meet some characters. And I remember meeting a couple guys that were at least 15 to 20 years my senior. And I was like...
Start all over. Start that sentence all over. What age group? What age group did you just say?
15 to 20 years.
Oh, I thought you said 50 to 20. I thought you started at the top and brought it back down. I'm like,
15
granddad?
to 20 years my senior.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about like granddad.
No. This was like in my 20s.
Okay. And
I just remember like, you are no different than the people in my age group. Like, no. Check, please.
Man. You know, this conversation reminds me of, and I don't want to take it there, but it reminds me of that conversation we did a live stream about AJ nothing but a number.
Yes.
It's giving AJ nothing but a number.
Yes. Characters, yes.
Man, that's interesting. Yeah, I feel, the more and more I come on these lives and learn from you all as women, I feel bad for y'all. I feel bad because I feel that if, as a man, you want to be with a woman who's willing to work on herself and have the awareness, because the woman raised the kids, her perspective, her thinking raised the children. Not saying that she raised them by herself. That's not what I'm saying. The woman sets that tone in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And as a woman, I can only imagine being married and setting the tone in your house, and your husband is sitting at the kitty table.
Oh my gosh. I saw a video on TikTok, and I don't know if it was real life or not, but this woman went into labor, and the husband started getting like stomach cramps or something, and was like telling the wife, "Can you not do this right now? Because I don't feel good." And he said on the thing, "My tummy hurts." She's in labor. She's in labor. Turns out, so they both end up going to the ER. She goes to labor and delivery. He goes to the emergency room. He was having anxiety from, I guess, her going into labor. And I mean, I don't want to turn this into a mental health conversation. But when you're talking about like maturity, you're supposed, bro, if your stomach hurts that much, call 911 then. If you can't take me to the hospital, can you make sure I get there?
Uber. Hey, Uber. I'm down here. No.
Oh my goodness. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I couldn't believe.
alert. No, I mean, honestly, Sheena, I literally do feel bad for women, but I also feel bad for men. Because it's hard, man. It's hard out here in these single streets.
I said, nah.
If a man faints when you need him most, yeah, because it's like, I don't know. I'm around some good dudes who are single, some really good dudes who are single, and it's sad. But I'm hearing the stories of women, and it's just like, wow. And because I'm just gonna say it like this. I'm thinking about some of the brothers at church who I think I don't know them that intimately, but what I do know of them, they some solid dudes. And then I'm looking at the single women and I'm like, why is this not clicking? Like, why is it not clicking? You know what I mean? These are men who serve in ministry, who has shown a propensity to like want to do well and want to do right. I'm just saying that the male conversation that I had, especially with you all, I'll just say that. Like these brothers, like, man, I really want to be with a good, godly woman. And I'm like, bro, they out here, but why aren't y'all approaching them? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then listening to the stories here, it's just like,
it almost sounds like they're missing each other.
Yeah, we do need to do about the balloon at church. Not at our church, just period. Yeah. I mean, we're not the pastor, so are they approaching the women in the church? I don't know. A singles retreat.
Dorothy, we still have that up in prayer. So pray with us, cousin.
So they want a Christian woman, but when the Christian woman, they want to be selective
about
Christian tenets. And, you know, CJ, I'm married, so you know what I'm saying. I get it. I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like that's another conversation.
It's another conversation. That's a Lex and Leb after dark. Pause.
Is it?
I mean, Christian tenants. Do they got a good job? Yeah, these brothers, good jobs. Like career-minded dudes. They dress well. I'm thinking of one in particular.
Oh, he's single?
Yeah, that's a dollar bill. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. Think of him, right? And think of all, you know, the opportunity he has at the church. I'm like, bro, you got all these women. Why are you not talking to him? You know what I'm saying? He got a good job, take care of himself.
Babe, let's not put too many self-identifiers out there.
Oh, okay. All right. I think it's because sometimes people show you their best selves, but they may live secret lives behind the scenes. Lots of men are sure that they can't afford a relationship in this economy. That's real.
That's fair.
That's real.
That's very fair.
That's another lie. CJ said it's another lie.
Honestly, I feel like it's an intimidation thing.
Yeah, because the women in our church don't play. They don't play. You better come correct.
Yeah.
And anyway, men don't want to work extremely hard for women in church when they could just go outside. Yeah, I don't know about that. I disagree.
Hey, Jessica.
What's up, Jessica? I disagree because men will wait decades for a woman if you want her. And I'm talking about the dude that's the friend. He's just waiting on that relationship to end so he can Swoop on in. That brother wait. What you think about that? Another lie for a different day?
Yeah, because
All right.
I don't know how we got all the way over here.
Yeah. Bobby says in the mirror. Bobby ready to mingle.
Yeah.
She's single and ready to mingle. Ain't nothing wrong with
Living
that.
proof said really who? Right. I'm just like, I don't know. We were supposed to be talking about heartbreak, and somehow we ended up on this side of the
On the
street. Yeah.
corner. Okay. Heartbreak. The conversation just went in a different direction. Yeah. But somebody brought up the retreat.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there we are. We right on time. You got silent. Are you reading comments?
Yeah, it was.
We're moving on quickly. Like men folk. Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I think we covered what we wanted to cover with as far as healing and heartbreak. You know, I think what we discovered tonight is that men and women heal differently.
Mm-hmm.
Men and women have different levels of awareness. I think men and women, you know, and I don't want to make it a gender thing. I kind of did that initially earlier, but I think healing and heartbreak takes maturity, wisdom. It takes a desire to want to be whole and holy.
Yeah.
You have to want it, right? And I think when people want it, they find what they need. They find the communities. They find, as men, they find the barber who can talk to them, or they find the gym buddy as you pumping iron. He like, man, what happened to that last girl you was with? Man, she broke my heart. Well, what you doing with it?
Mm-hmm.
What you doing with your heart? You know what I mean? And maybe that needs to be more conversations, you know, that people have.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
overall, I think at the end of the day, to kind of close this conversation out, and we talk about if you've ever been on our workshops, been in coaching, that there's a responsibility that you have to play with getting closer to God when heartbreak happens.
Absolutely.
You know, I think if you want to fall in love, you want to have a successful love life, it starts with you having a successful relationship with God. So I guess that's a good place to end the conversation right there. I look forward to it. No, you good. We just love having a good time. We've been thinking about doing like the more silly content during the week.
Yeah, we talked about doing like game nights with the members.
Yeah, with members. What type of games can we play?
We did it.
Yeah.
Like, would
I'm
you
sorry.
rather? Or...
I'm thinking like card game. Like, how can we play a game where they doing it on their screen and we do it on our screen and we see it? Like, maybe it's a Zoom or something. I don't know. Oh,
that
that'd
would
be
take
good.
a long time, babe.
It would. Charades on Zoom. Anyway. Well, thank y'all for tuning in this lovely Sunday. We appreciate y'all coming in. Yeah. We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all next week. Definitely look out for some content. We got some stuff prayerfully that we can carve out some time to get it done and get it to you guys. But we miss showing up as much as we can during the week. But look for a live stream on Wednesday, Sunday. We haven't
definitely discussed. Sunday. We will talk about midweek.
Okay. Yeah, it was fun. We had fun. Hold on, play Watch Your Mouth.
I'm not sure what that is, but
that game is so fun. Okay. Dorothy, thank you so much. Yeah.
To all of our newcomers, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Mm-hmm. We hope to see you guys again. Yes, you will see us on IG.
You want to pray us out, sweetie?
Okay. All right. So Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this past week, but also for the week that's coming up. We ask that you go before us, Lord God. We thank you that you've already made the way. Father, we ask that everyone that is here on the live stream, represented on the live stream, or will later watch the replay, Father, that you bless them, God. And you meet the desires of their heart, Lord God, both spoken and unspoken, Father. We thank you for this week. Let it be blessed. Let it be anointed. Father, bless the work of our hands. And we ask that you just give everyone sweet rest tonight as they prepare to begin the new week. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, y'all. See y'all. My mouth still. There it is. See y'all next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.